hello, hello. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're at and what you're feeling. I wanted to pop on here. I just did a Facebook Live and I'm like, I'm just going to do a little Instagram Live too because I love you all so much more than Facebook. So how we doing out there, fam? How are we doing for real, for real? How's it going? Are you feeling this Sag season? Let's see. I'm going to start with talking about Sag season. I'm going to see if I'm a little bit more like gathered in my talking about it. Let's see. Well, I'm so excited to talk about Sagittarius season and this powerful solar eclipse that we're getting on December 4th. We are literally between the eclipses, which is a very potent karmic, dharmic, is that a word? Time where we're like the seesaw. Like we go back here and hang out with the like kids that would make fun of us and like beat ourselves up and like be in the old world. I talk about this a lot, like the old world me and then the new world me. The new world me is like, oh no, anything's possible. You're amazing, right? So during this time, we are in a massive death rebirth cycle. It's like dying and being born at the same time. It's like dying and immediately getting popped back in through yoni into this realm and being like, damn, like I didn't even get a break. That's how I can feel right now. And I hear you because I'm feeling it too. At the same time, this is why the moments that you do have for integration, for rest, for rejuvenation, for celebration, for all the things, you have to steal it. You have to steal the moment. You have to hold the moment. You have to expand the moment. You have to feel the moment. Because this is the time of year where we're feeling a lot of pressure. We're feeling a lot of things. Hello, if you're just joining me. We're feeling a lot of things. We're in a massive death rebirth cycle in our own lives, on the micro and on the macro. We are in a crazy cycle, especially, everywhere on the planet, but especially in the United States. We are having our Pluto return. We have a Venus retrograde happening in December. It will conjunct Pluto 3 times. Pluto unearths the icky, the stuff you don't want to see, you don't want to feel, you don't want to look at. It's not fun, and yet it serves its purpose because in that pain, in that ink, in that icky, I can't, there's no word. In that unk is our power. In that pain is our power. And this is Pluto. This is the Pluto journey, right? We all have Pluto in our chart and we all have it in the sky. And the connection between where it is in our chart and what's happening in the sky, that's where we feel it in our lives, what we're feeling, what's coming up. And we're getting bombarded. I am talking about Sagittarius season in a moment, but right now we have been getting bombarded in our end degrees Capricorn house, the end degrees of our Capricorn house. For the last 2 years, we've had crazy amount of traffic jams, pings, uncomfortability in that house. So you want to look to where that is in your chart because Venus will be retrograding right there, bringing up what we need to love on, where we need to accept ourselves, where we need to open wider, where we need to open our heart wider. And it is from our heart chakra where we magnetize what we desire, what we want, and sometimes we magnetize things we don't want from our heart space, where our heart needs healing and we haven't been able to offer it to that space. Hi, if you're just joining me. So our heart is the great magnifier. And, actually where this eclipse is happening in Sagittarius is right next to the great magnifier in the sky and the galaxies, right? So Sagittarius, the constellation of Sagittarius is where we have that opening to the galactic portal, so the galactic information. So that is why we can be a little mind blown during Sagittarius season, or we can have these new ideas or things coming through, downloads, information. because Sagittarius is literally like the expansion of all there is, right? And at the same time, we have to integrate it. We have to feel it. We have to know what's right for us in the moment, what feels true for us in the moment, what we can really bring in and feel and be with. And this is our heart space. So I often say Venus retrograde to me feels like open heart surgery without any anesthesia, but we get an upgrade from it. And it happens every 18 months, and it's happening. We are in the shadow. It's happening December 19th. If you want to be on a group journey with me to handhold and commiserate, that's not really what we're going to be doing, but kind of, where we can hear each other, where we can be in community together, where I'm going to be looking at your chart and sharing, and you're going to be asking questions, and I'm going to be helping you find the answers. That journey starts December 17th, Friday. It's the same day that Activate Shakti starts. And Activate Shakti, if you join at any level, hi, Laura, how are you? I always go to say your name and then I'm like, Laura, which I'm saying it wrong still. Which, Jeremy, if you're still on here, Laura is from Colombia. Connecting. So the Money, Love, Work group journey it straddles the Venus retrograde. If you want support during this massive heart upgrade that we're going to be all getting, so look at your end degrees Capricorn house. That's happening. I'm going to set that aside. If you join Activate Shakti at any level, you get that program. So at the lowest level of Activate Shakti, you get access throughout, starting from December all the way through 2022. You get access to any of my pop-up courses, any of my workshops, any of my one-time live, like 1 day or 2 day things, okay? That's the lowest level. So if you know you want to be on this journey, it's $111 a month. And it's not therapy. I'm not trying to advertise it as therapy, but it's like group therapy because we are activating that feminine power and we're going into all of those places where healing's being asked to happen and we're doing it together. So that is happening. That's at the lowest level. The second level of Activate Shakti is all of that and access to 3 of my courses. 2 of them are live. The Feminine Leadership, Astrology, and Archetypes for Healing, and Planetary Power, which aligns the planets, the planetary information for you to plan your week. This is especially helpful if you're an entrepreneur or you make your own schedule, because you can literally look at your chart and figure out what are going to be your power days, what are going to be days where it's better to rest, what are going to be days where you need to rejuvenate, all of those things, okay? That, and then, yeah. So that's the second level, and you get the astrological support throughout the year, and so you'll be able to Voxer me questions about your chart. It's pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing deal, and it's $333 a month. Then at the next level, that is all of those things, but access to all of my courses, which is like a library of, I think there's at least 10 courses. There's more, but there's at least 10 courses, anything new I put out in 2022. And 4 deep dive coaching sessions with me, winter, spring, summer, and fall. So all of that for $1,111 each month for the year. It's like basically getting the sparkle and shine guidance experience while activating your feminine power to step into whatever you're meant to share with the world, whatever you're meant to step into in your own life. So if you want my full support behind you this year, I think it's an amazing deal because I'm literally available to you throughout the whole year through Voxer, through those sessions, through the group journey, through the astrology journey. I think it's an amazing offering, so I'm standing behind it 110%, and you'll see amazing results this year if you join that journey. Hello, Piper. Hello, Johnny. Okay, so Sagittarius season is all about expansion, growth, higher learning, higher wisdom, downloads, optimism. Sometimes we can be a little too optimistic. We can set our sights a little too high. We can overextend ourselves. We can throw too many parties. We can go to too many parties. We want to be aware of that energy with Sag, that it's very expanded and that sometimes we can overextend ourselves. Now, this is especially true with this new moon solar eclipse on December 4th. It is trining Chiron in Aries. Chiron in Aries is highlighting, sorry, my foot fell asleep. Chiron in Aries is highlighting where we've identified too much with our wounds, where we're being invited to feel it, to heal it, but also to move forward, to have that spark. Any of the fire signs, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, are all about transmuting and transforming and transcending. So that energy is coming through Chiron, the wounded healer, of wanting to move beyond something. Like Chiron never goes away, but when you're aware of him, he doesn't hurt so much. So Chiron is also where we can help others heal, where we can hold that space for others, and where we can come up with ideas and inspirations for others to heal. So knowing your Chiron placement in life is super helpful. With this eclipse, that trine is an ease. It's an ease placement. It's not like conflictive, but it is showing us pieces of where we're being invited to step into our healing even more, where we need to shed and clear away the old karmas, the old beliefs, the old stories, the old doctrines, the old dogmatic ideas of, I was just thinking about this today, like being raised Catholic, and how like there's still pieces where I'm like still having to like set that aside, like, you know, and so this is not like it ever goes away, but our awareness of it can shift it. It can be where that little schoolgirl, Catholic girl in the back who just wants to carry the cross is sitting in the back seat of the car. She's not driving my car. You know what I mean? So she's going to be there. I'm going to be like, hey, I see you. I feel it, you know, but I'm not going to let you drive my car. So this is what this eclipse is all about. We're being made aware of things. Vesta is conjunct this solar eclipse, asking us to burn the fire bright for our own truth, for our own ability to transcend and move beyond. And Mercury is right there as well, asking us to process, be with, heal, and communicate with ourselves, journaling, talking things out, with others, with especially these places where we've fallen into other people's truths, where we've fallen into other people's pictures of truth and not holding our own truths. And this is coming up for me. I shared about this in a post where, you know, that's kind of like a fawning response, is to just like, oh yeah, your truth is probably right. I'm going to just sit down and be quiet over here. And it's not to say that we have to be touting who we are or what we believe, but it means that with this eclipse, we're really being asked like what we're going to carry into the new, where we want to be in the new world. Do we want to be fawning to other people? Do we want to be kind of hiding and like cloaking ourselves and just be like, oh, just sit over here, okay? You don't want to hear my truth. Where we can stand firmly in it, but not need it to mean anything, or not need to be anything for anyone else. I actually wrote this today. I might have wrote it in a different, I wrote it in a different one, but I want to find it. So hi, we're talking about the eclipse if you're just joining. Okay, I have too many notebooks. That is one of my like things that I want to work on this holiday season, this like rest period. Yeah, okay, so when we're trying to do things to receive love versus doing it out of a place of love. And this is really, it came up in our Activating Shakti. If you don't know, I have a free training that's up until December 1st. Activating Shakti, it's the introduction to the year-long program with me, but it's got a lot of goodies in it. So if you want access to that, just message me, I'll send you the link. But we talked about this, like not doing things to receive love or out of the hope of receiving love, or like how people will receive me. It's like doing from a place of, I've received love and I want to share it. I'm here to share it with y'all. I'm here to share it with myself. it's a very different energy. And this eclipse energy is really doing things from a different perspective, from a different place. And this is the last total solar eclipse that we'll have in Sagittarius in the next 9 years. And like this with the South Node, the next 18 years. So it's pretty massive. Whenever we have a last eclipse in something, it means that we've been in this cycle for the last 18 months, and this is the last one that we're getting. So it's kind of like test time. This is especially true in Sagittarius because Sagittarius is very much higher learning and those kind of things. So there is this element of like, did you get it? Like, do you understand? Because we're moving into a new cycle with the North Node moving into Taurus. And I talk about that in the, I'm liking this filter of this in the Planetary Planner. If you haven't gotten yours off my website, I have the digital version where you can like print it yourself or just have it on your computer, or I have the paper version, which I'm shipping only in the US unless you want to pay a lot more for shipping. Unfortunately, it's just too much. But the digital version is available. So that all being said, this is the gift of this last solar eclipse, this last total solar eclipse in Sagittarius, is seeing things from a new perspective, staying in your power, staying in your own energy enough to be humble, that we don't know it all, that we're still learning, that we can be in a place of still learning and yet have a lot to share with others, have a lot of love to share with others, have a lot of wisdom to share with others, without needing to feel like we are the one and only expert, we are the one and only one. Or on the flip side, which I see with a lot of people in my world, is thinking that we aren't the expert, this imposter syndrome, so I don't have anything important to say. And I'm just like, those two polarities are what need to shift out, and I think are shifting out with this last eclipse, that everyone has wisdom to share. And this old pyramid scheme in the new world is getting flipped on its head, where the majority of humans have something amazing to share. The majority of humans have some piece of wisdom that not everybody has. And that the more people that are sharing, hello, if you're just joining me, the more people that are sharing their wisdom, their truth, not from a place of, I know it all, you need to come to me, you need what I have, you need what I'm selling. The more it's shared from a place of, hey, here's my life experience, here's what I've been through, here's what I've learned. If you want to come learn more with me, I'm still learning. Come join the learning. You know, it's a very different energy. And really, when we come out of that pedestalization of this one person knows it, or this one person is up on the pedestal and we're all going to bow down to their feet and give them love. It's like when we come out of that, we recognize that in the doing of that, we're devaluing ourselves. We're devaluing our own experience and our own expertise. And the more that we're pumping up our friends, our community, seeing that everyone has value, we're not going to be able to see that everyone has value unless we're valuing our own experience. So this is very much just Venus retrograde that we'll be coming into, that I'm doing a group journey on, if you want to get in on it, is seeing the value of your own lived experience. And then from that place, you're able to value everyone else. So I love you all. I hope that you have an amazing week. This is the time where we are being made aware of things. And in the being made aware of things, it's so important to not attach ourselves to a story about that, to not be like beating ourselves up for realizing that we had a belief that was running that wasn't serving our highest good. It's important to have that self-compassion, that love for ourselves as we're realizing things, because the more we have that, the quicker we'll move through it. And this is ultimately what this time period is about. Letting stuff die that's not coming with us to the new world. Letting the old world go. And we have to do this at the micro level within ourselves. Carl Jung, I shared it on my Facebook. Carl Jung has a beautiful, beautiful piece on the Civil War. That the Civil War is here. And that we all have these two sides of us, right? And the more that we can integrate that, the more that we can love on both sides of that, the more that we will find ourselves in a unified place in the world as well, that micro to macro. So I'm so excited for these next few weeks. That solar eclipse is December 4th. You want to look to where 12-ish degrees of all the fire signs, but especially Sagittarius is for you. And you're going to see where you're being asked to purify, to clear, to transcend, to transmute, to come to a higher place, to have compassion for yourself and your journey and all that you've been through, and to be ready to embark on a whole new journey, to be ready to pack your bags, to be ready to fortify your body, to go on this next part of our journey together. So I love you all. Take good care of yourselves and have a beautiful day.